Hello, hello, my wonderful colleagues who are preparing to defend your dissertation. Welcome to my video. I am Dr. Ejean Pemberton. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching on YouTube or another platform, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, all of those wonderful things that comes with social media. I really, really appreciate your support. Well, I want to get right into my video. I did a video already about some recommendations as it relates to preparing for your dissertation defense. I shared with you what I did and how that worked out for me. But this particular video is strictly going to focus mostly on the don'ts, what you should not do when defending your dissertation or even preparing to defend your dissertation. So these are the don'ts do. Don't do these things or try to avoid doing these things when you are defending your dissertation. So now I'm going to give you my top 7. These 7 are not necessarily in line with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's just a list that I put together. And so I'm just going to go with the flow of that. So I don't want you to think it's a specific order, but these are just my top 7. So one of the things that I want to tell you that you should not do is, first of all, don't underestimate the importance of your work. Your work is important. You took your blood, sweat, and tears to put together your research, your report. And so please don't underestimate, which means you need to have confidence about your reports. Understand you've done a wonderful job. And yes, you are defending before your committee chair and your committee members, and likely your department chair is possible, as well as other guests will be listening. So it's okay. It's okay to be nervous, but do not underestimate your work. If you are at the point of defense, that means that your committee chair is confident in your work. Your committee members are confident as well. So that's a great thing, as well as your department chair. So all of the ducks are in the row for you. So I want you to be comfortable and confident about your work. So please do not underestimate the importance of your work. Your work is going to bring valuable knowledge to the body of intellect and intellect and the college level. So it's going to be wonderful, and you should be excited about that. All right, so that's one of the things that I would say. Don't underestimate the importance of your work. Is it okay to be nervous about your presentation? Absolutely. That's okay to have the butterflies, but to be confident that your work brings value. All right, so the next thing I want to share is don't ignore the limitations of your study. Okay, so in real reality, all of us have a sense of limitation in our studies. A limitation could be, for instance, if your study was based on quantitative data, it could be maybe you didn't have enough individuals to participate in your surveys. If you had an electronic survey, if it was qualitative, maybe your casework wasn't expanded wide enough. You had limited time to get all of your information in, the amount of information that you needed in. Plus, it's just limited amount of research that you can do and put into a huge document, right? A 100, 200-page document. You can only do so much. So there are limitations. You also could be limited based on your location, time stamped, zip code. There are a lot of different limitations to everybody's research has a sense of limitations. And I talked about that in my other video. I didn't get really deep into what that looks like, but that's going to be another video that I will share with you. But every research has its limitations, and if you are truly going to present a quality dissertation, you first of all have to be honest enough to say, I have limitations. You could have limitations based on your own personal experiences. It could be financial limitations. It could be transportation. I'm just throwing some things out there. So I'm going to give you a good example from me. One of my limitations was my dissertation was on uh, educators, Black educators. So my limitations were specifically Black educators who were employed during the COVID crisis. So that in itself was limitations, and I was focusing on retention strategies. So therefore, I did not go expand further out based on, it wasn't gender based, but it was race based, and it was also time stamp-based. So there was a limitations as it relates to the timing of my research, who I was specifically studying, the group of people that I was studying, those who I interviewed. I also was limited to some degree of being able to go to different locations just because it was still in the COVID season of when I was doing my research. So I was limited in that sense. And that also limited the amount of diversity as it relates to me being able to get uh, educators from other parts of the country, like in other states, to participate. I have a few, but I would have loved to have more from the East Coast, more from the West Coast. So I was limited mostly in my state where I resided. So that was a sense of limitations in the sense of that. So when I say limitations, every research to some degree will have limitations. It could be timing, okay? It could be timing. So where you're trying to get so much done in a certain period of time, get this dissertation completed. So because of the lack of time or the tightness of your time, you could be limited in time. And that's okay because you can also provide recommendations for further research and use your research as a platform to step up and step out there and to do greater work. And you can be that person that does greater work and more extended work, not necessarily greater, but extended work on your research. So the second thing I want to share with you is don't ignore the limitations. It's good to have that information as one of your um, PowerPoint, what is one of your PowerPoint slides. Make sure that you speak on the limitations. So don't ignore that. And your dissertation chair and committee members should point that out. If you did not include that in your research findings and in your conclusions, that should be part of it as well. Another don't is do not rush through your presentation. Do not rush through your presentation. Okay, again, your presentation brings value. So you want to make sure that when you are presenting your dissertation, when you are defending your dissertation, that you are clear on what you're saying. So do not rush. Make sure that you have the bullet points as it relates to what you're wanting to convey and speak about when it comes to your research. So that's going to be really, really important. And I speak fast as well. So I have to intentionally slow down and make sure that I'm sending out the right message and saying what I need to say to get the points across. One of the things that was taught to me when I started speaking publicly is repeating what I said, or maybe rephrasing it so that what I'm saying is heard by my listeners and understood by my listeners as well. So that might be a strategy that you could use as well. But at the end of the day, do not rush, which means you need to know how much time you have so that you could properly prepare for your defense. In that, I want to springboard into don't ramble. Have your cliff notes, your note cards, so that when whatever you are going to say to present, like I have mine's right here, so I have a little outline of what I'm going to share with you. That's important. You want to make sure that you're not rambling. And also a way to reduce your rambling is to have a Google slide or a PowerPoint presentation. You can also, like I said, have index cards where you can use your index cards. I used a PowerPoint presentation because that's also helpful for my listeners to be able to physically see and visually see what I'm speaking about. So it's one thing for just like right now, you're listening to me, but you don't have, I probably should have my points above my head or something like that. So you don't have a visual of what I'm saying. And sometimes when I do videos, sometimes I'll have the points on my backdrop so that you could see my points as well, to be able to keep up with that. So, but at the end of the day, don't ramble. So if you do not have a PowerPoint presentation, make sure you have a nice outline that you can flow through the conversation when you are defending your dissertation. And that springboards me into the next part is don't forget to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfection. Okay, that's going to be important. So you will perform the way you practice, right? You will perform the way you practice. You do not want your first time presenting your dissertation to be in front of your committee chair and your committee members. So make sure that you practice, practice, practice. And I spoke about that in one of my other videos. You can always reach out to me or other colleagues where we can schedule time with you. You can go to my website, which I will give that information at the end of this video. But you want to reach out to someone in practice, and I would say a couple of people, so that they can listen to your presentation and provide valuable feedback. So you don't want just anyone. You want someone who will give you the type of feedback that you need so that you can have a successful presentation. All right, so the next thing is, I think I've given you 5, so let me give you another. Don't wear casual clothes, okay? Do not wear casual clothes. Even if your committee members and your chair and they come in with tennis shoes, I won't say slacks, tennis shoes, jeans, and a jacket, you want to be business professional, not business casual. Okay. Again, this is important because you are interviewing. Okay. So treat it as a job interview for an office. Okay. So you want to come in, you want to dress professional, have a suit, a tie. You can wear a tie. You don't necessarily have to wear a tie, gentlemen, but definitely you want to wear a jacket with slacks, nice pair of shoes, and you can wear like a polo shirt or something of that nature if you don't want to wear a tie. For ladies, of course, you can wear a nice pantsuit, a skirt and top, a dress, and some nice shoes. It doesn't have to necessarily wear heels, but you want to look nice. Again, you are interviewing, okay? That's what you're doing. So please do not dress casual. Do not wear jeans. Do not wear jeans. Do not wear I was trying t-shirts, stuff like that. Do not dress casual. Okay. That was my number 6. My number 7 is don't forget to thank your committee. Okay. Don't do that. Don't forget to thank your committee. Make sure you thank them for their time. I thanked them at the very beginning. As a matter of fact, I had one of my slides was a big thank you, just to make sure I said it on the front end and I thank them on the back end as well. So make sure you thank your committee members and by name, each one by name, so Dr. Such and Such, thank you for your time and your value. Dr. Such and Such, thank you for your time and your value. Just thank each one of them for their investment and their time and their support for you to get to the finish line. Okay, so let me rewind and re-summarize and restate what I just shared with you again. I don't have to ramble because I have it written down. So the first one I shared with you is don't underestimate the importance of your work. Your work is important and you did it. You put blood, sweat, and tears. So congratulations. Do not underestimate the importance of your work. The next thing is don't ignore the limitations of your study. All studies have limitations. So make sure you have something in your presentation to share with your committee because that's going to be important. They're probably going to ask you, what are your limitations? So you want to beat them to the punch and make sure that you state that with clarity, okay, with clarity and conviction that you understand there are limitations. And they may ask you, what are your plans, to further your research? So you want to definitely include that as well. But we're going to talk about what you want to do. We'll get more into that on another video, okay? So don't underestimate the importance of your work. Don't ignore the limitations of your study. Don't rush through your presentation. Time yourself. Make sure that you're hitting all of buttons, the core pieces of your research so that you are speaking clearly and the information that you're presenting to your chair and your committee members, they have a good working knowledge that you have a good working knowledge of your research. Don't ramble, so make sure that you have an outline if you're not going to use a Google slide or a PowerPoint presentation to keep you on track with your presentation. So that's important to make sure you have everything written down so that you can go with the flow. Don't forget to practice, 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 practice. That's right. Make sure you practice. And then number 6, don't wear casual clothes. Again, make sure you are dressed business professional, not business casual. Okay. You are on an interview. And last but not least, don't forget to thank your committee. Please don't forget to thank your committee. All right. That's it. Those are my don'ts for a dissertation defense. So if you want, of course, more information or if you would like added support as you are preparing to defend your dissertation, please feel free to go to my website to contact me. My website is endas, ENDAS, education.com. That's endaseducation.com. Reach out to me. You can contact me through there. My email address is on the website where you can go to our contact us page and reach out and touch us. We also have a Facebook group that I have put together. So that Facebook group is going to be a support group for scholars and colleagues like you and I who are preparing. Well, I've already defended this dissertation, but I'm getting ready to go into another program. So we need that type of support, type of support. So I've already started a Facebook group for support. And in that Facebook group, I'm going to be dropping different gems to help scholars along the way who are preparing to earn their doctoral degree. All right, so again, more information if you want to reach out to me is endas education, ENDAS education.com. That's endas education.com. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, you guys continue to move forward as you go towards the finish line. You have an amazing, amazing day. God bless.